That's the bell. Today we're going head to head on Bad Publicity. I'm Jameson.
That was so cheesy. Slide Squid.
I'm Corpse Morn.
We're like
in a different era.
We're gonna put Desperado right up against Doppelganger. Both of them cost 3 to play. Both of them give you 1 MU. The Desperado Splash is 3. The Doppelganger Splash is 2. And that's pretty much the breakdown of that.
Normally I'm long-winded with what I say, but I mean at the end, Doppelganger's better.
Well, let's talk about
Well, I'm satisfied.
Let's talk about it objectively and give a rating at the end. Let's try and keep some structure here.
Objectively. Well,
What is this objectively?
the point of the game is to run. Desperado doesn't give you a run.
So
Doppelganger does.
So Doppelganger gives you a free run after you've successfully made a run.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I like both the cards equally. Desperado plays more to my playstyle. Doppelganger plays more to my playstyle. Desperado is a monster card. I mean, there isn't a deck that this doesn't work in, first off. Yeah. Desperado, like I said, plays more to my playstyle. A couple little issues with that is, I mean, I can understand why it's not after every successful run. That would be brutal. But when you're playing with it, you don't realize that you can't do the sneak door beta runs with it. Like, you can't do all your special runs. You can't do like an account siphon run. So you have to. It takes a little bit more planning. Whereas once you put Desperado down, you're just gaining
Money.
money.
So that one you get the credit after, or the was it
Any successful run gives you $1.
$1?
Yeah.
Yeah. For some reason, I thought it was 2 there for a second.
No, just the fun. But yeah, that's it's my preference because it is, as Sly said, it's always useful. Everybody can use it, and while getting a run is awesome, and certainly will wind up winning you the odd game because the corp probably isn't going to be prepared for it, but you will be mentally preparing for it the turns prior to when you really want to rock it off.
Anybody who plays this is a great comparison, especially for like me and you personally. You like, I mean, I want to say you like a structured game, but I mean this is a game that plays well when everything's not structured. So
Yes.
you
I
like cards.
I like an open-ended game.
You like cards that are going to do things all the time, and then you plan your strategy or however you mitigate it around that. I like the spontaneity. I love, like, the way I run is I just try to run as much as possible, and it's just literally the first thought in my head I try to go with. I find that if you bog if you bog yourself down with a bunch of ideas of potential things that could hurt you or whatever, I mean, the easiest thing to do is to just have 5 cards in your hand and just go with your first thought. You know what I mean? There are going to be situations where, yeah, you're playing against a Wayland deck and you know they're going to tag and bag you, and you got to play kind of their game. But at the end of the day, this is a great comparison because both the cards are phenomenal. You know what I mean? But I think it leans more to the side of I want to be random and spontaneous, and then there's the I want to have structure and just gain credits, which are going to be useful. Period. You know what I mean?
Desperado has the higher splash value or influence value, but I have only seen that one played out of faction.
Desperado?
Doesn't Vol?
No.
Vol plays it. You play it.
Yeah.
But mine's in faction.
But I mean, yes.
Oh, yeah.
He hasn't seen Doppelganger.
I haven't seen Doppelganger. Anyone outside a criminal use a Doppelganger.
Vol uses it. And yeah, I mean...
But he must flip-flop back and forth, right?
No, never actually. He started with Desperado and he never stopped.
Well, you just...
No, but
he's
talking about Doppelganger.
Oh,
He hasn't seen Doppelganger or anything.
I've never seen Doppelganger played
don't apologize
outside...
to us. Apologize to them.
I'm sorry, Internet.
I've never seen Doppelganger played outside of faction, and even though it costs less, like on the splash cost.
Well,
like
because I think that Doppelganger plays really well to the criminals. Let's make a lot of runs playstyle,
And they usually have a ton of cash anyway, right?
Yeah.
So the runs are you can afford them.
So, and like I said, Desperado is just like, I mean, who doesn't want a credit every time they make a run?
Is there a straight swap action here? If I have a Desperado deck and I want to try Doppelganger out, can I just flip it in?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was actually contemplating...
Or is the money that you're getting on Desperado, once you take that out, you're going to be hurting?
The thing about it is, like, you have to really plan with Doppelganger. You kind of have to plan a game where you're going to be making so much runs that you're making the corp spend obscene amounts of money to try to keep you out. That's the game that Doppelganger wants to play. It's not so much that you need the money to break the ice. You just want to run into a situation where you are just going, you have to stop me now, or I'm going to score something, and then I'm going to go over there, and I'm going to access something. You're just making them make choices that they don't want to make necessarily. Yeah. And I think that play style was perfected with criminals. I mean, we've referred to it as running without a rig on previous episodes, and it's just like that's kind of what criminals do. They don't need anything else out. I've full-on won games with just a Sneak Door Beta and a Doppelganger out. Like, and I'm not talking like one-offs, two-offs. Like, that's a way to win games. I mean, I'm not discrediting anybody I play or anything like that, but like, you can do that, and this card helps you a lot more with it. If you don't have anything to spend your credits on, like your icebreakers or whatever, they just don't help as much. Right?
I'll address your question too. Is that with Desperado?
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Was I not? Did I go on a tangent?
Oh no, you're good. He just likes to talk like he's higher than us.
Me? Heavens no. Anyway, with Desperado, you do notice the money could be missing if you switch to Doppelganger, especially if you've already made the switch from Gabriel to Andromeda.
Yeah,
I made the switch from Gabriel to Andromeda, and even with a Desperado still in my deck, I noticed the reduction in funds. And it's weird because I was used to that extra couple of bucks here and there, and it really does add up. So it's a trade-off. It's a trade-off, but I now cannot imagine taking Desperado also out of the mix.
It's strange to hear that, you know, that much of an economy is hurting on you when you made that switch to Gabe,
yeah.
And now, you know, now you can't. You've kind of pigeonholed yourself into using one console over another. Then is that what you're saying?
Well, yeah, more or less. Now, if I were to say, if I were interested in trying Doppelganger, then I would probably switch back to Gabriel as my identity.
What do you
It's
think,
just a matter of like,
what's the payout?
It's the comfort level. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How much are you making off Desperado in a game?
Quite a bit. It depends on how aggressive you are, and as a criminal, you really should be aggressive, and a lot of your events and everything make you aggressive, so you do get quite a bit of cash from it.
I would say, yeah. I would say like anywhere between like 10 to 16 creds a game, depending on how long the game goes, and depending on how early you get it. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's hard to gauge, but the thing about it is, Desperado does the same thing that that Sneak Door Beta does and Gabe does. It's another reason why the Corp wants to put so much stuff over their HQ and their archives, right? So it's just, I mean, we all know that there could potentially be cards in their HQ, but that's one of the things that they can mitigate just by playing them.
Yeah,
you know
the
what
Corp
I mean?
can control it. They can control what they keep in their hands.
So it's not always the best place to run. I mean, anybody who focuses on central servers is going to focus a lot heavier on the R&D, because that's something that the Corp has no control over, shy of like a precog. But I don't know. I think that one isn't clearly better than the other one.
No,
there was a time that I was so in love with the idea of both of them that I had two consoles in my deck, and I was going to run both of them, one of each, and I was just going to run whatever one I got first. And
yeah, because the side note is like, you can't have both of them in play,
and you can't actually. I don't know.
You can't even install over top of the old one. You must actually trash it before you even consider playing the next one, which is kind of neat too.
Yeah.
It's in the errata.
I don't even think after
you commit to one, you can't switch it.
Yeah,
I think you can.
No,
you just have to completely get rid of it.
Lindorm was saying something. I don't know how much. I think the term is validity. I don't know how much validity there is to that. Am I saying that right?
You are. You're actually, and you're using it correctly.
So, from what I heard, even if it trashes and it gets into your heap, you still can't play another one.
Because it's technically in play still.
No, I know that to be false.
Okay.
Straight away, because the errata we went through said that you cannot install one over the other. You have to trash the one.
Maybe that's what he was hinting at. Maybe
I wonder if we'll see some comments on this below to clean this up.
Oh yeah, we may have made a mess. Fix it, internet. Fix it, neckbeards. You beautiful neckbeards.
Is there cards that work better with Doppelganger?
Yeah, cards that are going to hurt the runner's economy. Account siphons and vamps work phenomenally. You're going to make that initial run. You're going to drain their funds, and then you're going to
use
you're
that
going to
run
activate
to run something else. Yeah.
Another card that works beautifully with Doppelganger, and probably one of my favorite things to do. And I know that every criminal player does this. You're going to play a bank job. You're going to make a run on a pad campaign. You're going to gain the 8, then you're going to immediately make a run on the pad campaign and trash it. You know what I get to do now? 2 clicks instead of 3. You know what I mean? And it's phenomenal. And those kind of things seem small, like small things, but they add up. You know what I mean? If you're going to trash 3 pad campaigns like a game, I'm saving 3 clicks. You know what I mean? If I can account siphon and then get a run off, like if I can account siphon my first turn, I get to make 4 more runs that turn.
Yeah.
Which could potentially be all agendas. You know what I mean? Those are some of the most brutal turns that I find when I'm playing my deck. Yeah, like I said, my only argument with Doppelganger is the fact that you don't get to play any of your special runs. You know what I mean? Like you can't do a vamp run, you can't do a.
And the fact that you might not necessarily be able to run, right? You might not be financially able to
for that free second one, right? Is what you're talking about?
See, I think that's where you and me differ. I don't care financially if I know that there's something that I can access, be it
even archives, whatever.
Just if I can see something, if I can make you react to my run, that's what I want to do. I think that's probably what I'm trying to boil down. If I can make you res a piece of, I don't care if I get through. What I want you to do is pay your money to stop me. I am going to run like a hurricane at you, and I want you to react to everything I'm doing. You want to know how many games I play that right out of the gate, people just can't advance because they don't have anything. They don't have enough money to fuel an advancement.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Basically, any good runner should be able to do something like that to the corp too.
Yeah.
Just keep them poor. Keeping them poor is good.
But I mean, on the flip side, Desperado, I mean, you're making the runs. All of our fun cards, they cost money. It's nice. It's nice to recoup some of the funds from, after you like
inside job.
Yeah,
like that,
it's nice to be able to make that money back from bank job. It's still a lot of people. One, to install it isn't huge, but I mean it's 1 credit. If you install it for the 1 and then you run, now you're actually gaining 8 as opposed to 7 when you make that successful run.
It makes a difference, definitely over time.
So, what's your concluding thoughts here and the choice?
Sly said it exquisitely. They're both excellent cards. The Desperado is going to be. If you are a player who is like me, who wants to have something that's going to be useful 100% of the time, that's your pick, generally. If you are somebody who wants to be unexpected, who wants to be able to really hit them when they're really not planning for it, and sometimes they can't plan for it, like there's no way for them to get more money to prevent the next run that you're going to do kind of thing, then that's the way you're going to go. Desperado's going to give you that stability, but Doppelganger is going to, like, when you win, like, you're going to win.
Yeah.
That's it.
So you're not choosing? You're just...
well, I prefer Desperado. That's my...
Yeah, flat out, I play Doppelganger. Again, love both the cards. Just Doppelganger is just, I mean, you know, old school D&D fan. Love the name. You know, I love like.
Oh, and Spider-Man. Doppelganger was in Spider-Man.
Yeah,
he was.
I mean, a lot. Like my nickname comes from the whole. Like or internet handle Sly Squid comes from the whole like chameleon kind of adaptability, you know, which I use a lot in the games that I play. So just like right off the bat, I just love the idea of having the doppelganger.
So you're a squid, but you're a chameleon?
Squids change color and they act in they can. Have you ever seen like the?
Why would you just be a chameleon then?
Because squids are so much cooler than chameleons.
Yeah, but chameleons die in the water. Squids can't live out of the water.
I saw flying squids.
I know you did. I saw that post. But they can't fly for long.
They fly 30 meters in the air.
That's amazing.
That is amazing.
Flying squids.
Look up the mimic octopus if you've never seen that thing.
Oh, that thing's pretty cool too.
Brutal.
Those things are actually they think that they're pretty friggin' smart.
They are smart.
Yeah. Are we off track?
So are you choosing Doppelganger?
I picked Doppelganger. I started with that. And see, that's what I learned. If I start with the answer and then I tangent,
it's okay.
Yeah,
he'll let it slide.
He can't harp on me. God, he's brutal, eh? What are you picking?
Mom.
Desperado suits my playstyle a lot better.
Which means I win, Internet. He loses. Yeah.
I need the money. I need the allowance.
You need your comfort blanket.
Yeah.
Is that what you need?
Yeah, I do. I do see your point on the doppelganger, but I think that suits you to a T.
I don't need your pity.
All right, you're not getting it.
We have fun here.